Hi, I really quickly wanted to walk through what English is going to look like in the next few weeks while we dive into virtual learning. So, this is my schedule, and you have a copy of this PDF in your email from me. Students are going to be checking in at some point for about 5 minutes during their assigned English class block to quickly chat with me about their project. For most of the English block, they're going to be working on playlists or other virtual projects that can all be found on their class Canvas page. However, I really don't want to miss the opportunity to work with your students face to face, even though we can't be in the school building right now. So I've set up these virtual video conferences where I can meet with each of your students for a maximum of about 5 minutes to go through kind of how their project is going and check in to make sure they're doing okay on the English work. So for every class, there's a daily video conference sign up link. So no matter what, if your student is in English 10 or English 9, it's the same link. I want to quickly walk through what that looks like for your students. So when you click on this link, it takes you to this Google form. You're going to choose your class. We're doing Miss Hall's example for today. And then you're going to choose the date of the class that you're setting up a video conference for. If your student is super prepared, they can sign up for the whole week of video conferences at one time. So say I want to set up a video conference on Monday. My name is Miss Hall. And I'm going to think of a time in that 11:30 to 12:45 block that best works for me. Maybe I have to watch my younger siblings while my parents run to the grocery store, and my parents already told me that I need to be available between 11 and 1 o'clock to watch my siblings. And so this time slot, frankly, doesn't work for me. I can tell my teacher that in this block right here, and I will email every student individually to reschedule their check-in for sometime between 1 and 3 p.m. that day. So I know that this is a really uncertain time. I want to be sure that I am still checking in with each of your students no matter what. So in addition to being available for the 1.5 hours that is the assigned classroom block, if that doesn't work for you or your student, I can check in again later in the afternoon. I don't want to interfere with any other classes, which is why I'm available as well a little bit after the end of the typical school day. When you submit this response, it automatically kicks back a response to your email so you can save the date and share it with members of your family. This is just because I'm doing this video. So again, this is where you can access the daily video conference sign-up link, as well as on the Canvas page. I've set up this schedule to give you and your students an idea about how I will be available during this time. This is the time slot in which all these classes will run, and I've intentionally scheduled a couple different breaks in here for your students to make sure they're getting a snack, refilling their water, and I am actually starting my classes a little bit later than typically scheduled. For example, my English 10 check-ins, if you want to start at like 8:30, totally understandable. 7:30 is an early time to wake up. I'm also available for students and parents between 1 and 5 p.m. via email or my Instagram, and all this information is right here. If you would like to schedule a video conference with parents and students at some point in the afternoon, that would be absolutely great outside of the student check-in. Again, please email me directly by appointment to set that up at some point between 1 and 5 p.m. For your students, I've also created this printable virtual learning schedule. Your student can use this to fill in what each teacher expects of them while we go through this virtual learning. So I've broken it down by the class period. When you print this out, students can write the class and their teacher email for best contact for all of their classes on green and white days. There's also a time to schedule in when your students will be eating lunch, so that way everyone in the family can be prepared. Additionally, I've written at the bottom, I encourage all students to not be on their computers for this long of a time without scheduling in some intentional breaks and doing something active, preferably outdoors. So that's just a nice little reminder at the bottom of this printout to get students outdoors. I hope this answers some of your questions and sets some clear expectations for this virtual learning time. And I can't wait to dive in with your students on Monday.